Imagine your best friend, the one you've trusted for years, going out of his way to humiliate the girl you're dating just to embarrass you. Now, picture turning the tables so perfectly that his own life becomes a punchline of a cruel cosmic joke. That's exactly what happened to me. He wanted to make me look small, but instead, I set him up with the one woman he swore he would never see again, his manipulative, borderline psychotic ex. And now, they share a baby, and he's stuck as a miserable single parent. If you've ever had someone disrespect you, embarrass you, or make you feel powerless, and you secretly wish karma would come back to them, then buckle up, because this story is pure, unfiltered revenge satisfaction. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let me take you through how I turned humiliation into one of the sweetest paybacks life has ever handed me. At the time, I was in my early 20s, just dating this sweet girl. Let's call her Anna. She wasn't flashy. She wasn't loud. She was just normal. The kind of girl who liked bookstores, quiet coffee dates, and weekend walks. But to me, she was someone I really cared about. The problem? My so-called best friend. Let's call him Mike. Mike had this personality where he thrived on making other people look stupid. You know the type. Always cracking jokes at someone else's expense. Always needing to feel like the funniest guy in the room. At first, I ignored it, but then it started getting personal. Mike had seen Anna around town a few times. Instead of being polite or at least neutral, he decided it would be hilarious to humiliate her in public. He'd shout her name in a mocking tone, make comments about her clothes, even crack cruel jokes loud enough for others to hear. I'll never forget the first time Anna told me about it. Her voice was small, embarrassed, like she thought maybe she had done something wrong. And that broke me. I confronted Mike. I told him, point blank, knock it off. She hasn't done anything to you. This isn't funny. And what did he do? He laughed. Actually laughed in my face and said, relax, man. It's just a joke. But to Anna, it wasn't a joke. To me, it wasn't a joke. You'd think after being called out, he'd stop. But no. A few days later, Anna tells me it happened again. Same crap. Loud comments, snide remarks, him acting like a clown just get a laugh from strangers at her expense. I could feel my chest burning when she told me. My fists clenched so hard my nails dug into my palms. The humiliation wasn't just hers anymore. It was mine, too. He wasn't just disrespecting her. He was disrespecting me. That night, I sat there thinking, why is this guy my friend? Why have I tolerated his nonsense for years? And then it hit me. If he thinks humiliating people is funny, maybe it's time someone flipped the script on him. Here's the thing about Mike. There was one subject he never joked about. One person he absolutely despised. His ex. Now, calling her difficult would be the understatement of the century. She was manipulative, controlling, jealous. The kind of person who'd go through his phone at 3 a.m. and then accuse him of cheating if a female coworker texted, okay. Their breakup had been messy, explosive. He swore to everyone he knew that he'd never go back. And that's where the idea formed. What if I nudged him back toward her? What if, in his arrogance, he actually took the bait? I figured, at worst, he'd humiliate himself by crawling back to someone he'd trashed for years. At best, well, I didn't even imagine just how far it would go. That night, we were hanging out, and I planted the seed. You know, I said casually, I ran into Sarah the other day. Not her real name. Mike immediately groaned, rolled his eyes. Oh, God! Don't even say her name. She's insane. I leaned in, lowered my voice, and said, yeah, but she actually seemed different. Like, genuinely calmer. She even asked about you. I could see it in his eyes, curiosity. He tried to play it off, but the hook was in. Over the next week, I casually dropped more breadcrumbs. Saw her again today. She's working now. Seems really put together. Or, she told me she regrets how things ended with you. Mike pretended he didn't care, but he started asking little questions. Really? She said that? What else did she say? And then one night, after a few drinks, he admitted, you think I should hit her up? Just to see? Inside, I was grinning. Outside, I shrugged. Can't hurt, right? Worst case, you get closure. Best case, who knows? So he did it, and against all logic, she took him back. Within weeks, they were glued together again, and almost immediately, the chaos started. Screaming fights, jealous accusations, him showing up at my place at 2 a.m., ranting about how she locked him out of the after party. And yet, he stayed. Why? Because Mike, the guy who thought humiliating people was hilarious, couldn't stand the idea of being the one who failed. Then came the ultimate twist of fate. She got pregnant. When he told me, his face was pale, like he'd seen a ghost. This was the same guy who once laughed about never wanting kids, who mocked other people for being tied down. And now, he was trapped. They had the baby. And for a short while, he tried to spin it like his life was amazing. Social media posts, fake smiles, the works. But behind the scenes, it was a disaster. The fights got worse. The stress piled up. Eventually, they split, but now there was a child binding them forever. Today, they're both single parents, miserable, constantly fighting over custody, money, everything. And every time I see him, dragging himself around with bags under his eyes, complaining about child support or how she still blows up his phone, I feel it, that deep, quiet satisfaction. He wanted to humiliate me in public. Now his entire life is one long humiliation. Sometimes karma doesn't come like a lightning strike. Sometimes it's slow, creeping, patient. And sometimes it wears the disguise of a second chance. I didn't have to raise my voice. I didn't have to throw a punch. All I had to do was hand him the rope, and he hung himself with it. If that revenge gave you chills, smash that like button right now. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying case of karma or revenge you've ever seen play out? I'd love to hear your stories. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more of the internet's wildest, most jaw-dropping revenge stories. Until next time, remember, sometimes patience is the best weapon.